Hey yogis, and welcome. My name is Janine, and thank you so much for joining me here today for this gentle and slow stretchy yin practice. We will be holding our poses from anywhere between 6 to 12 breaths, depending on your rhythm of breath cycle. This practice can be done in the morning, or perhaps a mindful break in your afternoon, or maybe like me, you are winding down for the evening and this is a little sunset practice. So get yourself comfortable and let's begin. Finding yourself in a seat that feels good for you today, maybe sitting in Sukhasana, cross-legged, feeling your sit bones rooting firmly into the earth beneath you. Perhaps bringing your hands on your knees or your lap. And if it feels good for you now, begin to close your eyes down. And beginning our practice by tuning into our breath, observing your inhales and your exhales as they flow through you. No need to shift or change anything, but just breathe your natural rhythm of breath and just observe, noticing how your breath brings you into this present moment, anchors you into your here and now. So just letting yourself breathe and noticing how it is you feel today, what sensations are going on in the body, in the mind. No need to judge them or think that one is good or bad, but again, just observe. How does it feel to breathe? To allow for your breath to nourish you. Begin now to drop your chin gently towards your chest, getting into the back of the neck here, getting a nice stretch. And when you're ready, you can begin to gently roll your chin, your head side to side, beginning to feel length in both sides of the neck. Taking your time here, just moving mindfully and slowly as we begin to invite some movement into the body. Dropping your ear over towards one shoulder, maybe staying there for a breath or two, and rolling over to the other side. Let this feel good. Feel into any tightness, breathing into that space. And we'll come back to center, lifting your head up. From here, let's shrug our shoulders up towards the ears, rolling them back behind us a couple times. Just starting to feel out any crunchiness going on in the shoulders. Just again observing. This time as you inhale, we'll float our hands, our palms, all the way up towards the sky. And as you exhale, begin to circle them down towards your sides, brushing your fingertips onto the earth. And we'll do that a couple more times. So following your breath with your movement, inhaling as you reach your hands up. And fully exhale as you slowly bring them back down towards your sides. From here, we're going to bring our feet now out in front of us, soles of the feet touching, coming into Baddha Konasana, butterfly. So go ahead and grab onto your ankles, your shins, or your feet, wherever feels good for you today. And from here, we're going to begin to twist ourselves over towards our left-hand side. So framing your leg, your knee with your hands here, maybe tenting your fingertips so you can grow your spine nice and long. And when you're ready, beginning to fold yourself forward. So your torso is coming towards your left thigh. And we're going to stay here for 6 to 8 rounds of breath. So allowing for yourself to melt into this shape. Maybe just crawling slightly forward so you can begin to incrementally fold further with every round of breath. Feeling the stretch you're creating in your inner thighs, your groin, as well as a nice lateral flexion here in the right hand side. Let your head be heavy, your neck be heavy. Let yourself round into this shape. Let it be restorative. Again, let it feel good. So only go to whatever limit is sustainable for you today. And breathe deeply. Taking one more round of breath wherever you are. And as you inhale, begin to slowly walk yourself back up, turning your torso back to center. And deeply inhaling as you circle your hands up towards the sky, prayer to the sky. And exhale as you bring it down to your heart center. We're going to turn ourselves over now to frame the right leg, bringing both your hands on either side of the leg, growing your spine nice and long. And when you're ready, beginning to crawl yourself forward so you can come into your fold in whatever length and level feels good to you today. But again, let yourself round here. Let your head be heavy. Notice how the outsides of your feet push into one another in this butterfly shape. Maybe opening up the hips here ever so slightly more as you melt into this shape. Breathing deeply, following your breath. We'll be here for about another 4 or 5 rounds of breath. So let your breath be your anchor to bring you back into your present moment, into your practice. I know the mind can wander, but just tune into the breath and the sensation going on. Completing one more full round of breath. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, beginning to lift yourself slowly back up, crawling your hands towards you, and turning your torso back to center. When you're there, on your inhale, let's float our arms up towards the sky, coming into that prayer shape up above. And exhale as you bring it down towards your heart center. We'll bring our hands back behind us now, feet out in front of us, and just dropping your knees over to the right hand side as you gaze over towards your left, coming into a little windshield wiper motion with a little twist. And inhale as you come back to center, dropping your knees over to the left this time on your exhale, turning your gaze to look over to your right. Just moving like this on your own a couple times. Just following your breath. Feeling out this movement after that previous pose, that longer hold. And when you're ready, we'll come back to center. From here, just keeping your feet out in front of you, hands back behind you. Pushing into your hands, you can open up your chest. We're just going to cross our right foot now over top of our left knee. So we're coming into a seated pigeon or figure 4 shape. So go ahead and lengthen your left leg as much as you need to here, depending on how the right hip flexor feels or the right glute. And when you're set up here, we're going to slowly begin to lower ourselves, our back, down onto the earth. So we are laying down. Coming into a reclined pigeon now. Go ahead and lift your left knee up and thread both of your hands back behind your left thigh so that you can pull your leg in towards you, pushing your right knee away from you and feeling this big opening happening in your right hip flexors, the right glute. If you would like to grab onto the front of the left shin instead, that can also be a nice option if you would like some deeper sensation. So just play around here and see what works for you, what feels good. We'll be here for about 8 to 10 rounds of breath. So just let yourself be heavy. Really relax your head into the earth beneath you. Make sure your shoulder blades aren't creeping up. Let your torso be heavy. And just really tap back into that breath, following your inhales and your exhales. Just being aware, being mindful. Finishing up your last round of breath in this shape. As you bring your left sole of the foot back onto the earth, we're going to cross our right knee and our leg right over our left. So our knees are stacked over one another. And then we'll begin to pull our knees into our chest. So we're coming into Gomukhasana, or cow face pose, or shoelace. So reclined here, keeping the torso heavy still, either grabbing on to your knees and just pulling in from there, or perhaps grabbing on to the tops of the feet or the ankles. And from here, you can see how it feels to either pull your feet slightly upwards and outwards. Just as little or as much feels good to you. You'll see how that changes sensation in the outer glutes. But try to keep your shoulders heavy on the mat here. Try not to use too much strength in the arms so you can still relax into this shape. And again, staying here for about 6 to 8 rounds of breath. Just following your inhales and following your exhales. Letting yourself relax and enjoy the stretch. Enjoy this mindful time you've given yourself. Completing one last round of breath as you release your feet or your knees, uncrossing everything, and just hugging your knees into your chest here. And just rocking side to side, just to get into the lumbar spine and massage it out a little. Maybe bringing your knees into big circles with your hands. And when you're ready, we're going to come into our second side. So planting your right sole of the foot on the earth so you can cross your left over top of your knee. And then hugging that right knee into your chest. So we're coming into our reclined pigeon here. Maybe grabbing on to the top of the shin or underneath the back of the thigh. Flexing in that top foot. And just setting yourself up here for your figure 4 reclined pigeon for about 8 to 10 rounds of breath. Maybe see how it feels to actively push that left knee away from you, how it changes sensation. Remembering to keep your head and your neck heavy on the earth here, so you're not using any strength in the upper body. Just breathing. Completing one more round of breath as you begin to bring your right sole of the foot back onto the earth So you can cross your left over your right, stacking your knees over one another, coming into your Gomukhasana. When you're ready, you can pull your knees into your chest, maybe staying there, or grabbing on to the tops of the feet, the ankles, and noticing how this side feels compared to the other. Breathing into sensation, noticing your experience, following your inhales, and following your exhales. Completing one more round of breath as we slowly come out of this shape. You can uncross everything, and we'll bring our hands on our knees so we can come back into those little knee circles or big knee circles. Maybe moving them in the opposite direction, feeling out the lumbar spine here, little massage. And we'll come into our next pose. To further open up the hips, we'll come into a happy baby. So we can begin by coming into a little gentle version. So just hugging your soles of the feet in towards each other and then pulling your feet in towards you. So this is a lighter version. Or if you'd like to come into a full happy baby, then threading your hands, your arms on the inside of your legs, grabbing onto the outsides of the feet, and then beginning to shine the soles of the feet up towards the earth as you pull your knees down towards your armpits. So maybe trying both and seeing what feels better for you today. I like to bring in some movement in my happy baby. So straightening one leg at a time, rolling side to side. It can feel really nice on the hips and the glutes to bring in a little rocking movement. Or if you prefer to stay still and just breathe deeply into this shape, then do that too. Just embracing your version of your happy baby today. Just taking about 3 more rounds of breath. If you had come into your full version of this pose, then just bring your feet slowly in towards each other so you can lower them down onto the earth and just let your knees fall open. So we're coming into a reclined butterfly from here. Maybe if it feels good for you to bring your hands onto your hips as a little bit of weight and support. Or maybe bringing your hands on your belly, or shining your palms open with one hand on either side of you. So yogi's choice. This will be our final pose today before we close our practice. So let yourself really melt into this one. Let your body be as heavy as it's been all day. Breathing into your beautiful body, feeling your breath rise and fall. Recommitting yourself to your practice by being present and mindful. Really coding your breath with your awareness. Just keep bringing yourself back. Finishing up your last round of breath in this pose. And as you inhale, maybe helping your left knee as you lift it up, and like you're closing a book, closing it over onto your right as you turn over onto your side in your fetal position. Just staying here for a full round of breath before you slowly push yourself up, finding yourself in a seat right where you started your practice today. Before we close, let's inhale as we float our arms up to the sky, palms touch in that prayer shape, and exhale as you let your palms float back down to the earth. Inhaling again, float them up, and exhale as you let them round down. This time as you float your hands up towards the sky in that prayer shape, growing long out of their side bodies, maybe gaze up at your fingertips, and exhale as you bring it down to your heart center. Dropping your chin towards your chest in a little reverence, a little gratitude, showing yourself some love for taking this time for you, for coming back to your beautiful breath, letting it be your anchor, your presence, and allowing that to guide you through this practice today. So I hope that this can ripple out into your day-to-day life, bringing in more awareness, more mindfulness. And you can share that loving awareness with the world, with the people around you. Because your act of self-love and self-care is really benefiting so many. So be proud of yourself for that, for taking this time. It really does go a long way. Sitting in silence for just one more moment before you carry on with your busy life. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for joining me here, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.